What's up, guys? Happy Saturday. Back in the backyard here. I've got 5 running backs that are an absolute deal. They're a steal of a deal in fantasy football drafts for 2024. Guys, amazing, immense value. These guys are the RB1s on their team, and you are getting them at a big time discount. Like, it's discount time here for these running backs with massive upside. So I'm excited to dive into this. I love talking running backs. Any type of running back show, it gets me excited when I talk running backs. So I'm going to keep that content coming for you, this weekend and throughout the offseason and into the season as well, talking running backs, talking about wide receivers, talking about everything to get you guys ready for fantasy football 2024. If you are new to the channel, smash it, tap it, slap it, hit the thumbs up, guys. Show some support here. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. Show some support, guys. Hit the thumbs up, guys, and turn on that bell. I'm going to be breaking news here as well on the shorts here on YouTube, and of course follow on IG as well by story mode, turn on bell everywhere. And also grab the 16-round draft solution. It is out right now. Just did the first mock draft in there. It's a video trading, all the optimal players drafted, draft sleepers, breakups. Get that ironclad roster, guys. Literally it's almost perfect, honestly, because I give you guys a backup plan for a backup plan, every position, optimize players, grab 60 rounds. You'll be light years ahead of the sheep in your leagues, literally light years ahead, okay? So grab 60 rounds. I linked it below, and grab a ticket to the Sports Summit. It's a live virtual conference. We've got Kyron Williams, Trey Benson, other amazing players as well coming to the summit. It's going to be absolutely amazing, okay? Again, also, comment below. Want to make this interactive, guys. I love talking with you guys, so I want to interact. I try to get back to as many comments as I can. I do that because I keep it real. I'm just like one of you guys, except I just do a lot of fantasy. I made a living out of this. But literally, I started off exactly like you, super passionate about fantasy football. And I'm just like, I don't like the way things are done, and that's why I created 60 rounds. That's why I'm offering you guys content, okay? Because I don't like the copy and paste BS, mainstream garbage is being put out there. I like giving genuine, real advice and being real with you and actually helping you guys win. Grab 60 rounds, smash it, and drop a comment below, okay? About your running back that you love this year and some value RBs. All right, I also want to talk a little bit about news here. I saw some news break this morning. T. Higgins signed his franchise tender. Again, this is going to be crazy because Jamar Chase is going to probably sign that mega deal, and like T. Higgins has to sit by the sideline and kind of watch this happen. So that's got to be hard for a guy who's talented that's just been buried on the depth chart behind a guy who is better, or just a guy that just gets more volume. There's certain players that are really good. I think T. Higgins is good. It's just that he never gets that opportunity to be the one. And in NFL, particularly in fantasy football, the way you succeed is volume. It's very volume driven. A guy like Rachaad White, he sucks. He's not good, but because he got the volume last year, it made him viable. There's a ton of players that just get volume, become viable because of that volume. It's just very volume driven. Like, I'm not a very good running back. I'm not a running back at all. But if you feed me the ball 1,000 times a game, I'm going to get you yards. Like, it's a law of averages. It's just numbers, right? So if you play the numbers game, you're going to win. So anyway, T. Higgins signs his franchise tender. I don't think he's going to be getting a mega deal. They're going to have a lot of money tied up. They got money tied up in Burrow, and then they're going to have it all also tied up in Jamar Chase. So there's only so much funds to go around there in Cincinnati. So wanted to mention that. And also, since we're talking running backs, Blake Corum. Listen, Kyron Williams is coming to the Fantasy Sports Summit. I like the guy. I like the guy a lot, right? He's going to be on the show. I'm excited for Kyron Williams, but I really think Blake Corum is going to eat. There's talks about in camp that he's doing really, really well, and he is one of the top prospects coming out of this draft. There's without a doubt in my mind that Blake Corum is going to eat, and that is enough for me to fade Kyron Williams. That being said, I still like Kyron. I think he's great talent. I just think he's too expensive in drafts. I'm drafting somebody else. I'm getting Blake Corum as a stash later. But again, hoping the best for Kyron as well. But Blake Corum doing really well in camp, okay? Just a couple of news headlines there for you as we dive into these discount running backs, all right? So let's go to the first running back here that I absolutely love. And I talk about him in like a lot of videos. I'm going to continue to talk about him, is Zamir White, okay? RB20, what is he, like 23, 24 right now? That is crazy, man. This guy is the RB1 on his team. And let's talk also about the landscape right now, because you look at it, you still want to get an ace running back round 1 to 2, but I wouldn't mind getting an ace wide receiver in the first 3 rounds. Now, typically I go robust RB, but because of these amazing discounts, this is the year where I think a lot of guys, like the guys I'm going to mention here, could really be top 10 running backs, but also guys like Blake Corum, guys like Braylon Allen. If Breece the Beast goes down, Braylon Allen is an RB1, top 10 upside, right? So there is a lot of deals at running back, and I explain all this in the 16-round draft solution, which running backs I like, all the sleepers, and I show you how I draft an actual team. But tons of depth here at running back this year. But I still want to get one of the top guys, the workhorses, early. Okay, I still want to get myself a Bijan, a Saquon. I think is going to have a good year. Guys like that early, and then you can get some of these guys for great value. These deals. Okay, so again, the first one is Zamir White. He's the guy. He's the alpha. We saw it at the end of last year. He was really kicking it up in regards to volume, and they don't have anybody else there. Madison is just not a guy I'm concerned about stealing a lot of volume. He sucks. He's not a good player. He's a bona fide backup, and even when he tried to get the starting job, absolutely sucks. So Madison sucks. Zamir White is an absolutely great opportunity to succeed this year. Absolutely love him, okay? Second guy here. Let's rip through this. I'm not drafting him personally, but he's still a deal. And he's got no competition, is Nick Chubb. Now, I saw a quote a couple weeks ago talking about Nick Chubb basically saying that, like, they counted me out before and blah, blah, blah. It sounds like he's got a chip off his shoulder after that catastrophic knee injury last year. And if you saw that injury, man, it looked rough. It almost looked like season ending. His knee basically bent 90 degrees in the wrong direction. That's what it looked like, man. It was bad, dude. So, coming off that, I have my question marks, and you always look at those running backs that are, 1 or 2 years removed off their ACL or major knee tear, and they typically start doing well 2 years after. So maybe it's a little early for Nick Chubb, but he is a deal. That's all I'm saying. He's got Jerome Ford and Foreman there, and I don't think they're much of a concern, but I think Nick Chubb could be a viable pickup this year. I personally am not drafting him because of the knee issue, but Nick Chubb also a good option. So we talk about Zamir White, Nick Chubb, big time discounts. The next big time discount, who's going to be the RB1 on his team for sure, is Jonathan Brooks. Going back to the knee thing, he got banged up. I don't know when it was last year. I think it was November of 2023. So he's just coming off the knee surgery. But from what I was hearing, Jonathan Brooks should be ready to go. Now, again, he may be eased in similarly to the way Breece Hall was last year. But they got Hubbard, who sucks, ADP 43 amongst running backs. They got Miles Sanders, who sucks. Brooks is RB35. Again, you're getting a discount for a potential RB1. Top running back prospect coming out of this draft, along with some other guys, including, like I mentioned, Blake Corum. So when you look at the discount, you look at the value, you look at the talent, you look at the upside, you look at the situation, Jonathan Brooks is going to eat this year. Now, again, he's on an offense with the Panthers that has its share of question marks, but we're looking at a Bryce Young make-or-break type year. They brought in some wide receivers to distract the defenses and, maybe some less stacked boxes. I think it's a great opportunity for Jonathan Brooks to shine. Minimal to no competition. Hubbard is not a threat at all when it comes to running backs. Neither is Miles Sanders. Years to wow me, guys, and guess what? I'm not wowed. But let me know, guys. Jonathan Brooks, do you like him? I like him, man. As an RB 3 or 4 on my team with that major upside, I mean, why not? You're getting him at a discount, RB 35 in the rankings, guys. That is such a good deal. Jonathan Brooks, keep him on your radar. Okay, the next two guys, love them. And it's a bit of a spoiler because they are coming to the summit, and that's not the reason they're coming to the summit. They're coming to the summit because I asked them to come to the summit. I like them first, and then I asked them to come to the summit. So don't say, well, you only like these guys that are coming to the summit. Yes, that's why they're coming to the summit, because I love them, okay? Number 4 is Tajay Spears, sitting as RB29. It's funny, before I started recording this video, it said Tajay Spears is going live, and I think he was in his, like, we were in his pocket or something like that, because it was rubbing around his pocket. He's running around. I think he's at training, and he accidentally hit the live button. So I watched a couple of minutes of being in someone's pocket with Tajay, and then I left. So hopefully things are going well. Hopefully he doesn't, say something he's not supposed to say while he's on live. But, anyway, why do I love Tajay? RB3. Round 3 pick last year by the Titans. He's still on that team. I'm going to keep talking about this. Pollard was a 4th round pick on the Cowboys in 2019. Tajay was a 3rd round pick by the Titans, the current team that he's on, in the 3rd round, so higher draft capital, had a year behind Derrick Henry. This guy was doing it all. I mean, last year, didn't get the volume. He had 100 rushing attempts, still got a ton of receptions. This guy was still getting some work with Henry gone. Now we've got, 280 plus rushing attempts freed up. This guy, we're looking at a 200 attempt floor. Not to mention the receiving game. He's way more talented than Tony Pollard. He's the guy that's been on that team. Now, some people say it's a 50-50 split. I'm banking on a 70-30, 80-20 in the favor of Tajay. Listen, talent always prevails, guys that have upside, the better players shine, and Pollard has proven that he sucks as a running back, was a backup for years to crappy old Zeke, not to mention he had opportunity to shine last year, dropped the ball. And remember, everybody told you last year to draft Pollard in the first round. I was the only one telling you not to draft Pollard round 1. Sure enough, he busted. He's going to bust again this year. Sitting as RB27 is Pollard. Sitting as RB29 is Tajay. Completely fade Pollard, draft Tajay. You're going to be very, very happy this year, okay? Last one here, absolutely love him. And what blows my mind is the discount here. The guy I'm talking about is Trey Benson, RB41, compared to his backup, James Conner, RB21. Let me repeat that. Trey Benson, RB41, James Conner, the backup, RB21. Now you say, well, Joe, Conner's the guy. Dude, Conner is 100 years old. He's been in the league for 20 years. He was a backup to, can you believe it, Le'Veon Bell. Let me repeat, Le'Veon Bell sucked, and this guy was a backup to Le'Veon Bell. Not even starting ahead of Le'Veon Bell, a backup to crappy Le'Veon Bell. How do I know Le'Veon Bell was crappy? Listen, he was a product of the offense, and I said this years ago. Great O-line. They had Antonio Brown stretching the field there. Le'Veon Bell benefited from the fact that Antonio Brown was drawing double coverage, the veteran skill of Ben Roethlisberger. So Le'Veon Bell sucked. And what happened was everybody was telling you to draft him in round 1 when he went to the Jets the year after. I said, no, do not draft Le'Veon Bell. He sucks. He's overrated. He's a product of the offense. Everybody drafted him in round 1. The Concheapsis did anyway, and he busted that year. So James Conner, going back, we went off on a tangent here. James Conner was the backup to crappy Le'Veon Bell. So I've proved my point that Le'Veon Bell sucked. Okay, it was just a product of the offense. Now in comes the young dynamic Trey Benson, ran a 4.39, ultra explosive, one of, if not the best top running back prospect out of this draft, was drafted in the 3rd round, young dynamic. He is the guy. He is the running back to own, and you're getting him for an absolute steal. He's on all my rosters. Don't even ask questions. Him and Tajay are going to be the steals and league winners this year with massive upside, okay? That's all I got to say. So 5 running backs for a deal. Tajay Spears, Trey Benson, Jonathan Brooks. Yes, a bunch of rooks in there, a couple rooks in there. Nick Chubb, who I'm not personally drafting, and Zamir White, who I also have on all my rosters. Guys, amazing value at the running back position, but that's not to say when you're looking at fantasy football draft strategy, you still need that workhorse running back early. These guys, some of them, yes, they've got upside. Yes, I like them. Yes, I vetted them out. Yes, they're in a great situation. Yes, the talent is there, but you still want to anchor your team with those running backs that are guaranteed that volume, that are 100% going to eat this year, okay? So you don't necessarily have to go robust RB because there is value later, but you still want to get one early in the draft, okay? Subscribe, thumbs up, turn on the bell, grab 16 rounds. If this is making sense to you guys, I don't do cookie cutter stuff here. Grab 16 rounds. I've linked it below, and grab a ticket to the summit. And we get a chance to hang out and have potentially ask questions to Tajay Benson and Kyron Williams and more. All right, subscribe, smash it, tap it, hit the thumbs up, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Who's a real big time steal in fantasy football drafts this year? Let me know below. Have yourself a great weekend. I'm out.